Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, growing people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corner, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we are joined by the two-time reigning NSIC Player of the Week and this week's AVCA National Player of the Week, Maggie Brahmer of the #1 ranked Wayne State Wildcats. Maggie, thanks for joining us on the Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, as we do every week, let's start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am from Pierce, Nebraska, just small town Nebraska, a little under 2,000 people. I'm in my 5th year here at Wayne State. I think that would make me a redshirt COVID junior. I redshirted my freshman year, and then COVID hit and took away my sophomore year. So I'll be here a total of 6 years, but eligible for 4, obviously. And I'll take all 4 years. And my major is health and PE, K through 12, with a coaching endorsement.
All right. Any plans post WSC with that degree?
Yeah, I hope to coach volleyball, basketball, track, and be a PE teacher in just a small school, hopefully in Nebraska.
All right. As you mentioned, Pierce, Nebraska, just 30 miles down the road, small school where you played all 3 of those sports, correct, in high school that you just mentioned?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. So what was it about Wayne State that brought you to continue your athletic and academic career there?
Yeah, I always knew about Wayne State growing up, obviously being 30 minutes from here. But my passion never really lied in volleyball. It was always kind of towards basketball. And it didn't start until my sister actually committed here. And JC was a big reason. I mean, Coach Kneifel is a great coach too. And I love the girls that I played with at camps too every summer. And then seeing them get recruited was really cool too. But JC, she played here for 5 years, and I was very fortunate to play with her for 2 years. And she had a very successful career here as well. So just seeing her and hearing stories about Wayne and just how supportive the community is and how great the coaches are and the teammates are, I think that's really what, in the end, sparked my interest and got me here.
You mentioned success and the Wildcats having a lot of that, not only last season, but continuing to this season. You're off to a 15-1 start. You're 6-0 in NSIC play. You've been ranked #1 in the AVCA poll the last 3 weeks. The Wildcats ranked 2nd in Division II in hitting percentage. Talk about this team and what's make it so special.
Yeah, I think just seeing the dynamic between all the girls too. We've got some vets, Kelsey Chattel, Rachel Walker, Jordan McCormick are just 3. Those are our 3 seniors. So just seeing the dynamic between them, and then obviously the girls coming in from high school, our freshman class is really powerful, and we've got some great girls on the bench. You know, they were playing some key minutes. Chanichi Robles has had a great season so far. Lainey Cottle's come in and got a couple minutes. She's doing great. And then Taylor Bunger, she's a sophomore, and she's doing great as well. So it's just awesome to see the dynamic between, you know, all the ages and all the classes too. But I think for tech and skill wise, what makes this team really successful is our serve and pass game. Coach Kneifel is really big on that. You know, if we can win the serve and pass game, we can win any game. And shout out to all the girls that come off the bench to serve and all the girls that serve that are in the game. And then my back row too. My DSs and my libero are awesome. I'm very grateful for them.
For you were the Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. AVCA and NSIC Offensive Player of the Week last week. You currently lead the NSIC in hitting percentage and blocking. Talk about your style of play. Yeah,
my style of play, that's a loaded question. It's definitely evolved throughout my time here at Wayne State. I would say early on, it was definitely stemmed from my sister, JC. She was a very aggressive tipper, as Coach Kneifel likes to say. She would find an open spot on the court somehow, some way, and get it there. And so I think I took a lot of those things and made it my own. I think it's definitely evolved, like I said earlier, into what it is now. But I can't take any of this success. My setter, Rachel Walker, she gets me where I need to go, and my passers get her on the net too. So.
Yeah. So what does it mean to you to earn these conference and national accolades? Obviously, got to mention the career high 25 kills last night. So what does that mean to you to collect all these accolades?
Yeah, it means a lot. It really means the world. But where the credit lies is really in the coaches for scouting the teams well and just leading the team, the support system, the community. And then, like I mentioned earlier, my setter, and then Taya Beller as well. I'm going at her every day in practice. She's really what makes me better. And then all of our freshmen too, and every girl really on the team. That's where the credit lies.
Yeah, so the Wildcats have had a busy schedule this week. Your third week in a row with 3 matches. Last weekend was a tough road trip as you go to number 6 St. Cloud State and number 10 UMD, come away with a pair of big road wins. Talk about the grind that the season is and how you balance academics and athletics during the season.
Yeah, like you said, it's a grind. You're never going to have an off season in the NSIC, and I might be biased when I say this, but I think the NSIC is the best conference for volleyball in Division II. I mean, it is second to none. So, yeah, it's awesome to go into hostile environments and keep our composure and just chip away and really grind out some points and grind out some wins too. It's awesome to see my team do that and to be a part of it. I'm very grateful for. But then balancing academic and athletics, that's a struggle. But just knowing that my teammates are going through kind of the same things, leaning on each other is what really gets us through it.
You mentioned Coach Kneifel a few times. He's been leading the Wildcats for nearly 2 decades. How would you describe his culture that he's built down there?
Yeah, second to none, really. I didn't really know, what being on the Wayne State Wildcat volleyball team really meant, but it's definitely more than volleyball because this school is kind of in a smaller community too, and because of what Coach Kneifel and our assistant coaches have built, the culture that they've built. Because we're in a small community, I mean, whether you like it or not, you've got eyes on you no matter where you go. Everybody knows you're on the volleyball team. And so little girls, when they see you at the grocery store, whether you're on the court with your jersey on, you've always got eyes on you. So just being a role model. And then also he puts emphasis on the student before the athlete. Our coaches are really big into how well we're doing in the classroom, no skip classes, team GPA, that kind of stuff. And if we need extra time to get some homework done, they're willing to do that too. So I think it's an awesome culture that Coach Kneifel, and not only Coach Kneifel, again, our assistant coaches as well, the culture that they've built. It's more than volleyball, like I said.
All right, so got to ask this before we let you go, but the start of the season, Volleyball Day in Nebraska,
Yeah.
What was that environment like? And looking back, what will you remember most about that day?
Surreal. If I had to sum it up in one word, it was surreal. And something that I'll remember for the rest of my life is just seeing the faces of my teammates too, look up into the stands and see at the end of our game, 92,000, but still at the start of our game, there was 50,000, 30 to 50,000 people there. So I think just seeing my teammates take it in, I kind of had to take a step back and be like, wow, this is really happening. And I've said this before in interviews, but it really means more than volleyball too. Just having those little girls, think, okay, if Wayne State can play on a volleyball court in the middle of a football stadium at Nebraska and have 92,000 people watch them, I think I can do that too. Just sparking an interest and thinking about the little girls is what really is really cool.
Yeah, just a outstanding event, surreal for you guys. That was fun to watch from a distance, just to see all the people there, all the fans, and to see you guys perform at such a high level was just a great event for not only you guys, but the NSIC and volleyball in general, everything. So final question for you. What advice would you give to a young player to help in their development?
Oh man. I would just say soak it all in. Learn as much as you can, often as you can. I never played club volleyball. I didn't really even know what club volleyball was until my sophomore year of high school. So coming into Wayne State and taking that on as a challenge and knowing, okay, I might not be, the one that knows a lot about volleyball here. I might be at the bottom of the totem. I am at the bottom of the totem pole, but taking that, accepting it, knowing your role, soaking it all in, being a sponge. I think that's the best piece of advice I can give.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. That's going to wrap up this week's show. Thanks again to our sponsor, gpac. Maggie, best of luck to you and the Wildcats the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.